Well, good morning. Willie Lawson here with a morning report. Today we're diving into a SNAP controversy that's brewing hotter than gas station coffee. Should taxpayer-funded food benefits be restricted so you can't buy soda and energy drinks or Cheetos, delicious, scrumptious, orange-fingered Cheetos? Now, some people hear that and say, "Oh, that's government overreach." But you know what? Federal dollars have always had strings attached. Always have strings attached. If you take the money, you take the rules along with them. That's how it works. Always has and always will. All right. Several states, there's been these pilot programs, either in place or in development, that ban SNAP purchases of like soda and candy and delicious, you know, Cheetos, other junk food. Why? Because they'll tell you because it's for the rising the obesity rates. Type 2 diabetes is eating some state Medicaid budgets alive. And because soda is the number one product purchased with SNAP benefits. Soda, Coke, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper. Great check. I remember them Czech sodas, right? You get a family reunion, the great ones with yeah, the grape ones are the best. Anyway, purple ones. Wow. Not milk, not bread, not veggies, but soda. Think about that. Nobody's talking about cutting off like lobster, steak, even pork. We're talking about Coke, Mountain Dew, that check great, and the $6 energy drinks. Those things are so bad for you. So this is in theory. It's actually been tried. In Minnesota, they ran proposals that cut soda from the list. Maine tried to restrict sugary drinks and candy, but got blocked by guess who? The USDA. Wow. New York City pushed it under Bloomberg. Remember? They faced the same USDA roadblock. But now, with SNAP costs ballooning and public health costs exploding, the mood in Washington is shifting. The conversation is back. And it's serious this time. Now, here's the hard part for people. SNAP is not your money. No, I know. It's hard. It's hard. People get really mad when we even say that. SNAP is not your money. It's taxpayer money. That means that my neighbor's paycheck, your cousin's business income, your church's member's side hustle, all taxed, skimmed, and redistributed. And the rule of federal money is simple. The giver sets the terms. Housing vouchers don't let you pay $5,000 a month on a luxury condo. They don't. Federal student loans cannot be used to buy a car. Medicaid won't pay for you to go on a cruise, even if it'd be good for you. So why is SNAP different? Why does this program get treated like an untouchable right where the recipient decides everything And the taxpayer is just told to shut up. If you want freedom in your grocery cart, fantastic. That's called buying your own food with your own money. But if you want government assistance, which is what the A in SNAP stands for, then you have to live by government rules. No cap. All right. So here's the flashpoint. And this is going to be terrible. We've shifted from a culture of gratitude to a culture of entitlement. And I don't mean just the people who are getting SNAP. This is cross-cultural across our entire culture in every demographic. Every demographic. Once upon a time, you got help and you said, thank you. I'll make it work. Now it's how dare you tell me what I can buy with my free benefit? It's not poverty talking. That's pride mixed with entitlement. Because no one is nobody's taking away your ability to go buy soda. They're just saying, not with my wallet. That's all. You want soda? Get your own money and buy as much soda as you want. No one's stopping you from doing that. So if the program's mission is to prevent hunger and malnutrition, does anyone honestly, I mean, seriously believe that the solution is more Mountain Dew and Little Debbie snack cakes? All right. Now, people who are opposing the restrictions will often say, I mean, this punishes the children. Let's be real. This is about adult purchasing decisions. The kids don't go to the register and swipe the EBT card. Well, in some neighborhoods they do. The adults do primarily. If you really wanted to be about the kids, you'd welcome nutrition-based restrictions. You'd fight to make sure that the only food coming in is food that fuels growing bodies, not rots their teeth and sends them to the doctor. And here's the part that nobody likes to hear. If we care about child health, then banning sugar-loaded drinks and empty-calorie junk food from SNAP is child protection. Here's the deal. This is bigger than soda. It really is. We all get caught up in this, but this is really much bigger than soda. This is a cultural test. Do we now have the backbone to say, if you take taxpayer help, you have to follow taxpayer rules? Or are we going to keep feeding this lie that public benefits come with no responsibility, no accountability, and no conditions? You know, and this happened around here where I live, and it happened all over the country. People who get, housing, like live in the PJs or whatever, are are those folks responsible for the upkeep of those apartments? You would think yes. If you are in an apartment that you pay nothing or you pay very little for, you would think that you would be responsible for the upkeep. But so many times I heard and found people who were upset that the apartment complex people who were in charge of these apartments who were public housing would come in and inspect and find terrible things. The idea is that why are you inspecting my apartment? Well, because first of all, it's not your apartment. The apartment belongs to the government, whether it's federal government or some local government. It's not you. It's not yours. And I think that that's where the disconnect comes. The disconnect comes back. This is not yours. Yes, when you look at your SNAP benefits every month, that's not yours. That's somebody else's money. And I really don't think that a lot of folks really understand that or they internalize that in the way that they need to. That if you get SNAP benefits or if you get Section 8 or whatever, that's not yours. And that's really the hard truth, or that should be a motivating factor. And it isn't for everybody. I understand it's not for everybody, but it should be a motivating factor, if not the motivating factor, to make sure that you have your own, right? That you have your own. What's the song? God blesses the child that has his own. Get your own. I mean, and people need safety. I'm not saying that, please, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be safety nets. There should. And if you need one, fantastic. If you need one, get it. You qualify, please. But it's not supposed to be a hammock. It's supposed to be a safety net. It's not supposed to be a hammock. It's a place to regroup and get back out there. It's not where you live. I personally had relatives that lived, and if you're local, if you're local in the Tampa area, who lived in North Boulevard Homes, a housing project when we moved here in 1968. And until they tore them down recently, some of those relatives and children of those relatives still lived in the same apartments. Now, during that time, I lived in the same community. So we moved from Newark, New Jersey. No silver spoon in my face. It was a spork. You didn't have a silver spoon. I had a spork from KFC, right? So it's possible. It's possible to do something other than that. That should have been a temporary situation. And I think that that's the idea. These benefits, SNAP and Section 8, should be temporary benefits that we say, oh, I don't want you to come over here. Let me help with this for a little bit. Let me get you going here. All right, now off you go. And if somebody else needs this, now they have it. That's what it should be like. It shouldn't be this culturally generational thing that goes on and on. It shouldn't be that way. Not good for people. So again, here's my take. This fight over a soda is not what's in the cup. It's about whether America will still understand that government aid is a privilege, not a permanent, no strings attached lifestyle. The facts are, if you take the money, you take the rules. They come together. That's how you keep the safety net strong, so it's there for other folks. That's how we keep it from turning into taxpayer, and that's how you get to keep it from turning into a taxpayer-funded buffet. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Morning Report. I'll see you next time.